Welcome to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. I decided to follow up the War of the Worlds Next Century, the movie I reviewed yesterday, by doing something, because I've watched now two movies that are very metaphorical, that are open to interpretation, are definitely art films, avant-garde type of films, deep films. And I wanted to do something that was a break from that. And I went looking around, and I happened across because it was recently released on digital. It's still in theaters as far as I know, but the new Transformers film, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And when this movie's trailer originally came out, I watched it and I dismissed it. I went, okay, this doesn't seem like it appeals to me, because honestly, I am a bit tired of movies where the threat is global or galactic or universal. And that's what it felt like they were doing with Unicron, as this gigantic world-ending threat. And I went, okay, I've seen a lot of that. So I really just had no plans to see it. But then I started seeing reviews pop up for it that were comparing it to Bumblebee, which of course was the first non-Michael Bay film in the Transformers series. I watched the first Transformers. I thought it was fine, and then I started watching the second one, gave up, and never went back because I could tell where it was going and I had no interest in it. But I liked Bumblebee quite a bit. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it was a fun movie. And I do like the idea of Transformers movies because I grew up with the Transformers. I think you can make good movies with the characters. I just hadn't really seen one yet. Then I watched Bumblebee. I thought it was fun, small scale, character kind of film. And that's why originally Rise of the Beast seemed to be the opposite of that, because it felt like a big threat again. But when I saw the comparisons to Bumblebee, I thought, okay, and it's not a Michael Bay film. He's not directing. So I thought, let me give this a shot. I can always start watching it and stop, just like I did with the second Transformers film. And I realized at one point that I'd been watching it for an hour, and I went, okay, well, obviously this isn't terrible because I'm still watching it. And it is it is trying to split the difference. It's trying to be a big, bombastic Transformers film, and it's also trying to be a film about the two main characters, Noah and Elena. And I think it does that fairly well. I'm not going to say it's a great film. It's very similar to Bumblebee. It's fun. It's not necessarily a movie I might ever watch again, although if it came on for some reason or I came across it and had nothing else to watch, I probably would. It's definitely an entertaining movie. It's interesting that Unicron is the big enemy. Now, I know Unicron's somehow factored into the other movies, but I didn't watch any of those other ones, so I don't really know. But it's interesting because it feels a lot like the way they used Galactus in the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie. So I'll just, as a spoiler, I guess, if you come into this movie expecting much of Unicron, you're going to be disappointed because he's barely in it. I mean, he is there. You see him only in planet form. You don't ever see anything of him, of his robot self, outside of his eyes a few times. But really what this is about is his heralds, which is Scourge, which I believe was one of the villains in the original movie, but I'm sort of mystified why they didn't use Galvatron. I guess because they want to hold that back. Maybe they want to bring, because Megatron became Galvatron. So at first I'm like, why wouldn't you use Galvatron? I mean, he's the big enemy, but I guess they're probably saying, because Unicron, obviously, if he's in the later movies, he's around, so I assume they're saving Galvatron for something else. It's fine, but Scourge and the villains, they're very disposable. But the Autobots and the Maximals, they're fun. I mean, Ron Perlman's doing the voice of Optimus Primal, and then of course Peter Cullen's coming back for Optimus Prime. I like Mirage. I don't have any opinion on Peter Davidson. I know he's love it or hate it type, but I've really not seen him in anything else except commercials maybe. I thought he was good in this. I like the two people, the human characters. I don't know the actors' names. I thought they were both good. I thought they did Noah's story very well. Again, it's a movie that's entertaining. I was looking for something that was less mentally intensive as the two movies I reviewed previously, something that was just fun, and I found this movie to be fun. It's got its problems. It definitely has the CGI overload thing, and some of the battles you kind of can't even tell what's going on because you just see a lot of moving gears and everything else, but it also works really well as just a fun film. Far better, I think, than any of the Michael Bay films. So that was all I was looking for out of it, and that's what I got. It probably could have been 20 minutes shorter, but I didn't really feel like it dragged. It just seems like it's long for a Transformers movie, especially because Optimus Primal doesn't even show up till about halfway through. So for some people, it might seem too long. I would say it's right at the edge of where it should be. But again, the thing I was looking for the most out of it was, I just want a fun movie that I can watch and have a good time with. And I think it absolutely delivered that. So especially if you like Bumblebee, you give this movie a try. You will probably like it. At the very least, I don't think you'll hate it. And that's something for a Transformers movie. Later.